love song from Mr. Harold Quartey, very handsome Vandal, to his wonderful wife, Mrs. Miranda Bannerman Quartey, and for her birthday that comes up tomorrow. But he's sending the message today, sending his greatest love to his only lovely wife, friend, and manager. I like the titles, WFM, wife, friend, and manager. May Almighty God continue to bless you, Mrs. Miranda Bannerman Quartey, from your handsome Vandal husband. I know, I went to school with him. Harold Quartey, sending out love to his wife, Mrs. Miranda Bannerman Quartey. Happy birthday. And for all of you who are celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to all of you. For all of you who are thinking these unlicensed loan app companies, okay, they are unlicensed. Okay, fine, Bank of Ghana. Thank you for that message. It means I can take money from them, left, right, center, 10, 20 of them, and not pay back. Well, there's a risk you are running that will shock you. So watch out. Why is data so important in this digital world? And why do some people use illegal means to get individual data or your information? Why do they go to great lengths to do that? And how are criminal gangs operating in this manner? I have with me a cyber security expert and a member of the Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana to talk to us on the risks of data harvesting on the heels of Bank of Ghana's blacklisting of 97 online mobile loan app companies. My guest is Emmanuel Gadasu. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kafo.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, good to see you.
Okay, so first of all, just your thoughts on these online loan apps, and then we'll dive into data harvesting.
Okay.
Bank of Ghana has blacklisted 97 of them. As a cybersecurity analyst, what does that make you feel? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I think I wear two hats. Mm-hmm. From the cybersecurity perspective and from the data privacy perspective. I think it's a great news to Ghanaians because I've had an experience with these people and it was very, very bad.
The loan people?
Yes.
Okay.
It was very, very bad. And that was to a mate of mine, JSS, mate of mine. I think he applied for such a loan, and what happened was when he defaulted, these guys just sent the message out there that this guy is a fraudster. And not only to me, but to almost every contact on his phone. And that is very bad. If I default in a loan, does not make me a fraudster. But this is how they paint the picture to the entire world. So the question now is, how did they get my contact from this colleague of mine? And not only that, they actually created a group to showcase that this guy is a criminal and have him arrested. So that's how bad this thing can go.
He got arrested?
No. They were telling us that we should get the guy arrested.
Okay.
Because he's a criminal, because he has defaulted in paying a loan. And that is what privacy invasion. You may contract a loan. How would you want the whole world to know that you have gone for a loan? So that's how bad this thing could go. And the vast number, look at 97 of them. That is what the Bank of Ghana is aware of. So how about the unknown ones? And what are they doing with people's data when you contract loans with them? So this is very, very bad for us.
We thought about you coming on the show today because yesterday Mr. Blay from Bank of Ghana came here, spoke to us about the implications of what these people are doing. And he spoke about the serious risk of data harvesting being the real reason why these companies go to great lengths to get into your contact list and then get all that information. What exactly is data harvesting?
Okay. So data harvesting is actually the process of extracting information from different sources for that organization's own purpose or intention. And these sources could be from a website, could be from mobile apps, social media platforms, and many others. So there are various terms that we use for this. So people call it data scrapping, data mining. And there are so many tools by which these things are done.
Why do people engage in data harvesting?
Okay. I think you made an opening statement that the data is very, very important. And now we say data is the new gold. So the more of data you have, the more information analysis you can elicit from it. And it gives you insights and trends to help you or your organization either to plan, to come up with a product or a service to a targeted audience. So that makes it very, very important to them, because the more you have it, the more analysis you are able to do, and you get some insight as to how to tailor a particular service or come out with a particular product to meet certain needs or certain categories of people.
Is data harvesting a criminal act?
Depending on how you do it. Mm-hmm. So if you do it lawfully, based on laws and regulations in this country, then that is lawful. It is not criminal. But if you don't pass through the appropriate means, so for example, why would I collect information about you without letting you know? Then that becomes criminal under our Data Protection Act 843, because you need the consent of the individual, or you should have a legitimate or legal basis of collecting such information. So if you do not have, then that is criminal.
How would you respond to the defense of these online loan apps who claim that, oh, well, it's part of the terms and conditions, and you're supposed to consent to have this information taken from you. So what they are doing is not illegal because people have ticked, yes, I agree that you can have access to my contacts. I agree that you can have access to my photos and all of that. So would they say that they are on the side of the law? They haven't done anything illegal after all you consented?
Okay. Yes. Consent, actually, the fact that you've consented to something does not make it legal. In the sense that it depends on the wording I use in the terms and conditions. And however, regardless of how the terms and conditions are crafted, it must conform to laws and regulations. So you could have your own consent form or agreement or terms and conditions, but if it doesn't conform to existing laws, then it is illegal. If it doesn't conform to the rules and regulations within the Ghanaian jurisdiction, then it is illegal. So it can be what? So even though an individual has consented, but it will be null and void.
Okay, so let's bring this home. So these online apps, and they're in the system. Yeah. Bank of Ghana has put up the notice. Yes. But I realized that when I went through the messages on GTV Ghana's Facebook page, wherever, even on Bank of Ghana's Facebook, the boys were saying, most of the guys saying, oh, well, thank you. Now we know they are unlicensed. It means we can take money from them and we don't have to pay back because these people are not licensed. Yes. Basically, it's free money. So imagine that a young guy decides, okay, I've taken 100 cedis from Rapid CD, one Rapid CD. I don't want to pay, so I jump off to Acon Credit. I go and take another 100. Then I jump off to Fufu Credit. I go and take another 400. I go to Chase Loan. I take another 600. I go to 4 Credit. I take 250. I go to Ghana Loan. I take 350. I go to Loan Galaxy. I take 400. I'm just piling up, and I know somebody who owes 16,000 CDs with loans to 10 of these companies. It's free money.
Yeah.
I'm cool. They are unlicensed.
Yeah.
Or I'm not cool.
Well, on the surface, you may look cool. But deeper than that is you have sold your freedom, you have sold your data, you have sold your privacy to other people. So the question now is, would that 16,000 be worth the reputational damage this thing could cause you?
What is going to happen? I mean, what is going to happen to what can happen to me?
Okay, so somebody can use your details to impersonate you, commit a crime, and you'll be arrested for it. Would that be worth the 16,000? No. They use your information before you realize your reputation among all your friends. Your name is here today, here, tomorrow, there, that you owe people. Is this something that you would want people to know, that you owe people? Because that is financial information, and it is very private to most of us. Of course, you wouldn't want people to know how much you have, how much you owe people. But if this information is out there, then that becomes what? It damages your reputation. You know, you don't know where you'll be tomorrow. Like, this guy who have been contracting loans, so that pay you. And that could what? Damage certain positions or privileges you may have what? Gotten at the end of the day. Not only that, this information, you see, the digital personality is who you are. So if all this information is out there, people knows your date of birth, they have your Ghana card number, your voter registration number, your phone numbers, and they even know the close circles around you. They can use that information to impersonate you, commit crime somewhere, and you will be held what? Liable.
We hear of these things happening in other countries, but is this happening in Ghana too?
Yes, it is.
What examples can you share with us?
The impersonation aspect?
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, in the Ghanaian space, we are coming up, so some of these things are not published. Yes, but from the data protection perspective,
Yes.
because it affects the individual and it is invading the person's privacy, we wouldn't want to even go further by putting it out there so that it becomes worse off. So that's why some of these things are limited. But within the circles, some of these things comes up all the time.
How can I protect myself from my data being publicized to people who I don't want to have it publicized?
Okay, so one, is it in the desperation to acquire loans or get some loans, people would ordinarily not read these terms and conditions. Even where it is legal, where they have followed due process with their terms and conditions compliant to existing laws, the company is supposed to tell you how they are going to use that information. So, for example, if they tell you that, okay, Kafi, if you default, we are going to contact your friends and families and tell them that you owe us, I'm sure it's not something that you ordinarily agree to. But because these things are opaque, they are not transparent in telling the individual that this is how we are going to do it, then it becomes a problem. So one, the individual, you have to take personal responsibilities for every activity you do online by reading through to understand the terms and conditions before you go ahead to accept the terms or to deny. The only thing is that if you don't accept, they don't give you the loan. And it's as simple as that.
So these loan app companies asking for access to my contacts,
Yes.
I shouldn't do that.
No. But what it means is that they are actually going to get all the contact list on your phone. And why would you sell maybe for 200 Ghana cedis, 500, no matter how much high distance, would you want to sell or exchange the entire contact list? And not only that, they go beyond that by maybe reading your messages. Because, for example, if someone has about 500
They can read your messages?
Yes, they can. So these apps are very, very dangerous, and they possess they pose a security risk to the individual.
Why is it taking a long time for the authorities to clamp down on them? Why? I mean, why can't a court order be put out to have these things taken off the app stores and the Play stores?
Well, better late than never. So now we'll leave it to the appropriate authorities. I'm sure the Cyber Security Authority is aware, the Data Protection Commissioner. In fact, actually, as a result of a statement she made, and subsequently the Bank of Ghana followed up with these actions. So, well, better late than never. So they are in the process, and we hope a time will come where all these apps will be dropped from the Play stores. And Play Store by itself is also incorporating certain activities. Previously, if you put an app there, that is okay. But now they go further by scrutinizing the app to see what the app is doing. And one of the recent updates that have been done in the Play Store is that whatever account or app is used, it should have a delete function where the individual can decide to delete their own account. Without that, these days your app will not go to the Play Store. So they are also upgrading and improving upon the processes about how one can put out apps on the Play Store. But as a country, the Cyber Security Authority, the powers they have, they can actually write to these platforms to actually drop or prevent people in Ghana within the Ghanaian space, cyberspace, from downloading or installing these apps, and it's possible.
Would you say these criminals are ahead of the authorities for now?
No, criminals have always been ahead of every authority, not only in Ghana but everywhere. Yes, so Ghana is not an exception. Yes, but the good thing is that once they do, they are able to follow up and clamp them down and provide the appropriate sanctions to them.
A message here from one of our viewers. They give loans for 1 week with high interest rates. Failure to make payments on or before the 1 week ultimatum will attract your embarrassment. They also send your pictures and brand you as a wanted criminal to all your WhatsApp contacts. So some of the risks,
exactly.
The social risks that you run.
Yes.
So read the terms and conditions carefully. And then what should you do if you wake up one day and you find that everybody and their auntie is calling you saying that you are wanted? You fire up your Facebook and you see your picture there with your Ghana card. You are declared wanted. You are a fraudster. You are a criminal. You are a scammer. What should you do?
Okay, I think the first thing is to report it to the Cyber Security Authority or the Data Protection Commission. You report because this concerns you. It is your information, and that is not the purpose for which you gave it. Contracting a loan does not involve family or family members, friends, and other ones like that. So once they do that, then they are actually invading your privacy space, which you have every right to protect. So the first thing is what? To write to these or report these as incidents to the Cyber Security Authority, to the Data Protection Commission, and they would take the necessary steps by helping you to have some of these things resolved.
What are some key tips that you can give people to protect themselves from having their data harvested?
Okay. One, there's nothing free on the internet or anywhere. Either somebody has already paid for it, or the individual or that organization is going to extract something that is valuable from you. So that should be our preset mind before we go into anything. It is never free. They are going to use your information one way or the other. And whenever you don't agree or you are not comfortable with how these institutions are going to use your information, then the only option is that you opt out. Nobody will force you. It will demand an action from you to enter into those spaces. So once you are not comfortable with the terms and conditions, then you need to opt out. You don't have to go.
That's it.
That's it. And also the patience to read through the terms and conditions, because some of these they will not be in the introductory stages, the middle downward somewhere, which a lot of people find it very difficult to read. And people argue that, of course, if you don't click yes or you agree, it is not going to allow. Of course, the individual or that platform has terms and conditions, and they are telling you we are going to do A, B, or C. Most of the times, if you delay a bit, you may find an alternative that can provide the same solution, but with a favorable terms and conditions.
Okay, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much. So now you know what to do to prevent your data from being harvested. Data is the new gold of the 21st century, and please do not willingly sell your data for a mess of pottage like Esau did and lost his birthright. The data is your birthright now, and you don't want to sell it for some cheap money.
No.
All right? Emmanuel Gadasu wears two hats: cyber security and data protection, data privacy. And I thank you so much. He's with the Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana, and he's updated you on what you need to do to protect yourself from your data being harvested. You can watch this conversation again. Just go to our Facebook page, GTV Ghana, and you will get the stream. Share it with your friends. Let them all know. Messages here. Good morning. Very embarrassing to go through all these ordeals. I guaranteed a loan for a friend, and I ended up being wanted for loan default. A flyer they did to paste in town for a loan I never took. Thank you for this information. Teacher P.Y. Agbaku at Dentam. Be very careful about guaranteeing for people, because they will come for you when the person doesn't pay. All right, so be very careful about that. Good morning. Shout outs to Jemima Bote. I know she's a Nungwa chick, just from the BBBs there. And it's her birthday. It's coming from Serena. So happy birthday to you, Na. On your birthday, Na Jemima Na Bote. And then Mrs. Miranda Bannerman Quarte, it's a message from your husband, Mr. Harold Quarte, wishing you greatest of all love for his wife, his friend, his manager, Mrs. Miranda Bannerman Quarte. May God, Almighty God, continue to bless you, and all of you are celebrating your birthdays. Coming up next is sports. We're wearing red jerseys because Ghana plays Madagascar on Sunday. What are your predictions? We want to know. Sunday is also Father's Day. Who's the ideal father? We will answer those questions on the show today with our guests. And there's a youth rally and music festival that you really want to be part of. Akusha Hansen and Naache Ni Okpe are famous guests for their headlines, and it's going to be very enlightening, and as usual with the ladies at the desk. I went begging for money, and I raised 350 cedis. I'll add 10 CDs, and then I'll pay for 10 TV licenses. Yeah, it's coming. The short code is on the way. Don't worry. We'll give it to you nice. But so I'm going to do it old style. I'm going to take the money there and drop it on the table and say, this is my money for 10 people. Pay for the 10 TVs. Sports coming up next. Don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast.